hope I haven't set this timer by accident. Yes, I did. Right, let me... Okay, hello everybody. Sorry for the strange setup this time. We will probably have to change the room because I record as well every lecture for you, so you can pause me and rewind if you want to listen something else, or you can do that as well actively. You can just stop me and say like, hey Robert, you're talking far too fast, can you slow down, or can you explain that again, especially if it doesn't make sense. I will update you probably via email, and it should come up as well on your timetable, so just look out for it. So probably next week we are somewhere else, where I have a desk that faces me, because when you see the video you will see me a lot from the side and from the distance too, so you can actually see the screen. So that will be a fight for this session. To get started, we are going to study in this module partnership and collaboration. It's a topic I'm personally as well quite interested in. I've done a little bit research in that area, and still I'm very pro partnership and alliances. I think there's a lot to be gained from it, particularly in my refined research area, which is competences, organization, and capacities. And I will go through you with that in a very gentle manner, so that at the end of the module you will have a healthy understanding what it means to be a stakeholder, or a partner in a collaborative effort. So there's as well certain dynamics. And next to that, we will have as well explored a few case study scenarios to familiarize with what dynamics are actually like if you're in a relationship like that. Let's get started. My name is Robert Müller. A few of you know me already. Feel free to call me Robert or Rob. I listen as well to Robbie or Robbie, but that gets ambiguous. You may have to shout the name twice, so it's not the most efficient way of getting my attention. Otherwise, I'm a senior lecturer in project management. You will get me as well in other modules on this program. So I'm largely based in postgraduate studies. So I do like my concepts. I do like my case scenarios, working with companies. So sometimes it's a little bit too specific or too conceptual. If that happens and doesn't make sense, just interrupt me or shout in and say, Robert, this doesn't make sense, please explain. So I would really like to have this open platform with you. Especially in this group size, this should actually work very well to have as well open discussion and explore experience. We have a new experiment at the moment. We have a lot of new technologies that are combined. So you are actually encouraged to use Facebook if you want. So this is a group that is actually managed by me, but I have as well an young colleague that helps me with making materials available. You can share their stuff if you want. You can as well. Hello. Hi. Please join us. Sorry. No, quite all right. You can as well alternatively use LinkedIn if you're up for that. It will be all on the Prezi that will be on your e-learning portal. Are you familiar with the e-learning portal? Yes? No? It's the ELP. So if you have questions in the seminar, I can show you how to get there. So you can as well decide where you touch yourself, and the idea is that if you have questions or there's something in your mind that you didn't ask in the lecture or seminar, you can just write it down and make it a discussion point and see what other people think. So feel free to answer as well on points. I will try to answer as well every 2 days at least. So this is my attempt to it. Otherwise, for setting up a meeting or discussing anything, I prefer actually if you make an appointment. I'm normally in my office, but I have, for example, today 6 hours of lectures and seminars So if you would try to get me, it would be a very dissatisfying experience. You would come to my office and I wouldn't be there. So if you want to see me or speak about anything, then feel free to drop me an email, and we just timetable a reasonable amount so that we can actually discuss without being disturbed what we want to discuss. Yeah. Any other queries? Maybe a little bit more background. I've been now, in the past I did work in industry, but this is now, I just learned that recently, over 8 years ago. So I've been for 8 years in academia. Initially mostly doing research, and then since now in my 5th year of lecturing as well. Yeah, so before I was a pure researcher and scholar, and since 5 years I have switched into that role, doing lectureships too. Yeah, but before that I've worked as well a little bit. You can actually explore that. It's quite transparent on the platforms if you're interested in that. Do you have any questions so far? Okay. I'm actually quite curious about backgrounds. Can we do, just to get to know each other, quickly a name and where you're from and where you want to go? So this can be as ambiguous as it sounded. Yeah, you can say, I'm coming, so I'll do that quickly. Hi, my name is Robert Möbler. I come originally from civil engineering and project management, and I want to do research and support you in your career. That is where I want to be. Something random like that. Okay? Shall we start here? Do you want to make the start?
Yeah. My name is Polly. I come from Hong Kong, and my first degree is business management. And I'm not sure my career yet in the future, but I will think about it after this course.
Yeah. Any rough direction?
Maybe project manager or any surveyor.
Okay. Oh, surveyor as well. Yeah, that's an option. Okay. And then construction or something like that, or
maybe.
Yeah, because with surveying it's kind of you go of course in a direction. Yeah. Okay, super. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I'm Miriam Elaya from Nigeria. My background is statistics, and I want to implement project management in the educational sector.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is a tough one. We are still battling here with it. So great topic, brilliant. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
I'm Faye, and I live in Northumberland. My undergraduate was business marketing, and I would like to head into project management. Well, I'd like to be chartered, and then I'd like to go into project management, but I haven't decided either for client or consultancy yet.
Okay, and any industry or more general?
Preferably sort of energy or infrastructure.
Oh wow, those are the hot topics at the moment. There are a lot of contracts already promised, and yeah, we don't really talk about it at the moment. So we do need a little bit marketing with project management. Very good. Yeah.
My name is Mehnaz. I'm from Iran, and I studied tourism management in the past. And the reason I chose this course is like to do project management and at the same time planning, because I don't have much experience in planning, so I thought that it might be useful in my CV to have project planning and management at the same time.
Very good. And do you want to go as well in that direction, planning and any industry?
Preferably oil and gas.
Oil and gas. Okay, super. Very good. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Rajiv, and I'm from India. I've had several years of experience in, I'm a mechanical engineer by qualification, and I've worked in different fields: sales, marketing, engineering to start off with, and I've kind of had some exposure to project management. So I'm doing this course so I can explore it a little further.
Very good. And you want to stay in that industry field as well?
Engineering.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Ahmed. I am from Oman. I was a graduate as a civil engineer. I would like to increase my knowledge and awareness in project management. That's referred to my position currently. I am construction civil engineer. Hopefully I will be project manager.
Very good. Yeah, do the next step in managerial terms. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mahdi. I'm from Saudi Arabia. I have a background in electrical engineering, and this is my second semester here, so I'm enjoying.
And do you want to go as well into project management in the electrical field, maybe power plants or something like that? Or?
I haven't decided actually about this. But yeah,
Okay.
about electrical, yeah, about electrical.
Yeah. So you take the time as well to contemplate and think about it, yeah? Very good.
Kind of.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, this is of course what the time is there as well to do, yeah? So to think about it and let it sink in what you like most, yeah? Or where you want to see yourself.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm from Kenya. And my first degree was in civil engineering. And I'm doing project management so that I can go into the oil and gas sector. Yeah, basically.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much.
Simon, I'm from around here. I studied environmental management in the past, and I do want to be a project manager. I'm just not exactly sure why yet.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi everyone, my name's Lee. I graduated here in 2012 in building project management. I've had a couple of years out in industry, working in construction and the public sector, and I'm doing the MSc, hoping to go into maybe IT or either finance or insurance. So,
Very good, thank you.
Hi, my name's Michael. First degree is Master's Business degree MBA. Grifted for a while, ended up in training. Not sure how I ended up there, but I ended up with skills development. Doing this Master's degree in project management, I'm not really sure where I'm going to end up. I do have thoughts about travelling the world, and project management would allow me to do that and earn a living at the same time. So I guess that's why I'm there, why I'm here.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, my name is Salman Fatak. My first master was in banking and finance, but then I converted to construction field, and now I'm doing project management, and I want to be a scholar basically, so want to continue for my PhD.
Very good. Yeah, brilliant, thank you very much. Okay, so now you have a little bit information about each other. Later on we have as well a session that is slightly intense. We have to familiarize ourselves with values of our partners, business partners. And I give you a controversial scenario, and we will have to figure out who are the worst partners and who are the best partners, and can we do business with them, or is it a deal breaker? Yeah? So quite a hard topic to face, but I hope it will be fun too, and that will be time when we work as well in groups. Okay, so this is really kind of the introduction and an overview of the specific topics that we are covering. And as you can see, we start with competition, and here I see competition as kind of it's opposite end of collaboration. It's based on how I describe the relationship basically in the session. But you will see that competition and collaboration have actually a lot in common. So even if you collaborate, sometimes competition for the best idea to be promoted in your organization may actually be something healthy to have. Then we go in particular approaches of collaborating. We talk a little bit about partnering, hybrids of that. We go a little bit in alliances, joint ventures. So don't worry, those terms don't have to mean too much to you yet. And then we go in competition in businesses, collaboration in businesses, and partnering in businesses, and we look really at the relationship level. This is often lost out of sight, and especially I have a few, well, my past company, I still have a lot of friends there, and it was a lot of mergers and acquisition, and you have by definition as well one of the partnership agreements. Often the us gets lost a little bit out of sight, but we look at that and go a little bit in the relationship literature. So what do I mean by competition? Somehow along the line it was like defined really as activity or condition of striving to gain or win something by defeating or establishing superiority over others. And I thought this picture was quite representing, a little bit giving you this touch of evolution. Maybe the strongest and fastest or fittest survive and the other may be eaten in the due process. So this is something that we will actually cover in quite a little bit detail. Next to that is, of course, as I said, I try to polarize it a little bit to let it sink in, is a collaborative end. And here the idea is really the action of working with someone to produce something, and ideally it's a symbiosis, or you will read a lot of terms in the literature like synergetic relationships, where you both gain more than you both put in. Yeah? So that is of course an optimal scenario, but it has as well certain implications. Then with partnering, taking part in an undertaking with another or others, especially with shared risk and profits. And so I mean, this is a quote, so I shouldn't really edit it around, but in project management we think more about risks and opportunities, and both have often a numerical value attached to them. Yeah, here the picture is, oh, I should have really went for the interpretations. That was the whole idea. Can somebody describe what the picture here is? I assume you're not all zoologists as well as a hobby, but I take random guesses. Why do you think this is a partnership? What is a beneficial relationship here?
Does the clownfish provide food or something for the anemone? So
Yes.
that it lets it live in it.
Yes, yes, yes. And what has the clownfish from it? You were very informed. I would have gone with fish as well. The fish is yeah, but you're spot on. Yeah, so the clownfish provides a service to the sea anemone. Yeah, so this plant, it's not a plant, it's actually an organism. But what is the relationship? You said he looks after the plant,
And it lets him live in it.
yeah, and why would this be beneficial?
Does the clownfish clean it or feed it or something like that?
Yeah, it's the first guess that was the right one. Yeah, or yeah, knowledge, sorry, not guess. Yeah, but you're quite right. It cleans it actually from parasites and allows the organism to thrive. And at the same time, what does a clownfish have from it? You always have to look on both sides.
The clownfish is like protected because don't they like emit like a ray or something?
Yes, exactly. They have like little stings that they fire out. If you do snorkeling or diving, don't touch it. It's a terrible sensation. Yeah, so it's basically protecting the clownfish from enemies. And as you can see, he's very bright. So other animals that potentially consider him a delicious snack are basically slightly turned off by the sea anemone that kind of protects the clownfish from the enemies. And then, as you can see, they live basically in it and can hide in the plant. So that is a partnering relationship, if you want. Yeah? So it's a fair, square deal. Yeah, and if he doesn't look well enough, or she doesn't look well enough after the organism, then it dies actually down, and the fish can't hide in it anymore. So that's really a symbiotic relationship, apparently. Okay, we have, of course, the other side. When we come to the business application from my metaphors here, yeah, then here you will see that business is associated with competition traditionally. Or would you share this thought? Or have you experienced other ways of business?
We've experienced both. I mean, they tend to experience both in a particular room.
Yeah.
I mean, competition is everywhere. Doesn't matter what you do, you always want to have competition in one form or another. But you can look to achieve certain things through collaboration and through partnerships, which perhaps is not with your competition, which will make you stronger and better to compete more effectively.
Yes. Very good. So you have already kind of pinpointed there. So if you collaborate, you can compete maybe together, and you have a stronger proposal for a project or an undertaking that you fancy. Yeah, a very good example. And there's the other side. You may actually compete to be in that collaboration. Yeah, or you may actually compete to hold the quality level or comply to the risk requirements in your project to be part of that. Yeah. Well, traditional thoughts revolves around the idea of competition, capitalism, and self-escalation. Yeah? So you What does that mean? Self-excavation? Pardon?
Exaltation.
Yeah.
Exaltation. That's what's the word.
Yeah. So what does that imply? Can you give me an example? What does the word mean?
Like increase.
Yeah. So you basically try to get yourself up in whatever the competition is. Yeah. So here it's being dominant to your other competitors. Capitalism, having a lot of people that owe you money, maybe having a lot of money. This depends on your culture. Yeah. And then success is determined by money in the bank, power, influence, and material possessions often. This is again very simplified, quoted. You will see I've taken this, and here the quotation marks are missing. This is concerning. Okay, but this is from a paper that is as well in your reading list. You will see that it's about competition versus collaboration, and that was from Asian collaborations, particularly popular takeovers in South Korea. Nobody wants to go there anymore and collaborate. There's a reason for it. It's mostly Samsung now. And you know then that they may have played the odds a little bit. So they may have hidden competition even in collaboration. Then collaboration in business suggests that by working together we can create the best possible solutions. Harry S. Truman was once quoted as saying, there is no limit to what can be accomplished if it doesn't matter who gets the credit. And that is already important to recognize, because who gets the credit in the project? Some people smile. Who gets the credit if it goes well?
The whole thing. I think it depends upon the agendas in which they had before they went into the project. Who shouts loudest as well, sometimes as well.
Yes. So I did like the other answer, the whole team, and this is how it should be. But you have a point there. It's normally who sits at the negotiation table and shouts loudest that earns a lot of credit. So that there is a hidden dimension to this. But again, who has good examples of collaboration? Have you experienced good collaborations before?
Collaborations like Sony and Ericsson, they were producing mobile phones together.
Yeah.
And now they have separated.
Oh, so is this good or bad?
Well, it was a good collaboration because at that time when they were together, so they were dominating the market in some countries, though not all of them, I cannot say, but in some countries, in my country they were. But right now when they have gone their separate ways, so Ericsson is no longer producing phones. And
you know that they have been actually acquired, yeah, they don't exist as a brand as far as I'm aware. So
yeah, so it was good. They were producing good phones, and it was a hit when they were together.
So collaboration can provide you with market dominance, what you're implying here, and they probably shared as well their capacities. So they have probably expertise in particular areas that they combine to have a superior product. Yeah, but you notice here already the language, and still they are probably collaborating to be competitive against other companies. Yeah,
and against each other.
And against each other indeed. Yeah. So the split as well was probably a calculated business decision that they realized exactly that they can now probably do the skills that one company had themselves now because they have learned. Yeah. So this is as well kind of the game. Yeah.
Transfer of technology, like from one company to another.
Yeah. So technology, then you have as well skills and knowledge. This often as well becomes very transparent, especially if you're in the same working space, if you share the same practice. If you have smart engineers in between and smart project managers, then you figure it normally out quite quickly what they're doing. Yeah, and then what are other shared resources? We had it already. What do you share in a collaboration as well?
Ideas.
Yeah, ideas? I like it. It goes in, for me, the right direction, but I was thinking more practical in business terms. What do you want to avoid, or what are you after?
Like, as per the previous slide, we are after dominance. If we get a collaboration with someone, so we can dominate the market or anything there?
Well, I think you probably said it earlier. It's you share as well the risks, and they're often in a collaboration. This is a beautiful thing. It's often allocated with the most capable person. If not, then you have a partner in the collaboration that is dominating probably the relationship. From my own background, I worked as well. This is quite some time now ago, 2006. I worked in South Africa, and we were working on merger and acquisitions. And this was a merger, and we bought like a local ship's potato plant. Yeah, so that you throw the raw potatoes in, and on the other side you get little bags of crisps that you can sell into the market. And we were needing additional capacity, and they needed our expertise because their technologies were really behind. So we brought in technology and guaranteed jobs, so they got as well. So this was really a beautiful merger in a way, because the employees had then health and benefits deals with us, and at the same time they were away from the project and performance contract. They got full employment with us, and at the same time we bought additional capacity in the company. So, but it accelerated everything in the company, which was criticized by employees and managers. But that is what it does. Automation and digitalization, you are in for a ride. So it's often a hidden intent. But yeah, what was interesting, very good resonance as well. Sadly, one of the managers left, so, but it had to do with their personality rather than anything else. Now then we have as well in partnering in business, the me, us, and you. It's a little bit leaning towards Freud's old concepts, but we have of course updated it a little bit, so it's not really from 1890. The development of successful long-term strategic relationships between customers and suppliers based on achieving best practice and sustainable competitive advantage. That is still quite old. We think now often as well in creating a value chain that is meaningful to all partners, to really achieve a profitable remit. Is this easy? Me, you? Well, what does it mean? It's a little bit cryptic, isn't it? What does that stand for? Who is you? Who is me? And who is us? Does that make sense, or is it slightly cryptic? Okay, one nod. Other ones speculate, no, I rather not. Okay, so the idea really being, so when you're in a partnering relationship, business relationship, then you have your own priorities. You are after maybe certain profits. You may have like certain intent with sustainability measures, that you really want to live, corporate social responsibility. You may want to do it locally, so this is like very important to you, and this all combined, and you want your 20% profit, and then the share dividend to pay out to all the major shareholders, something like decent 15%. Everybody's happy, something like that. So if you are on that level, this is your interest. And now you're partnering with me, and I'm a charity. I'm very experienced, and I have good social contacts. I like working with the community, but I don't buy into your high profits. I think like, oh, why do you have to take so much money? This is unreasonable. And then we come together in the us. So for collaborating, we have to kind of, if it's shared values, this is very good in a partnership. If they are conflicting, this is not the end. You have to find resolutions and negotiate, so you actually arrive at a fruitful us, where you both gain basically out of it. So don't stop at the conflict. That's an important bit. And us, I think they did it as well, confrontational with the color scheme. So red is you, you know what you want. Green, I kind of know what they want, but when do you normally hear if something is working well? Did you notice up front? It's a little bit like a closed book up front. It's normally when the first clash happens, or when you read the terms and conditions in the fine print. Yeah, and we need this, and we should comply to that standard. Yeah, that is when it gets to a point where you have to watch that you are as well in a position to actually achieve what you are after. Yeah, so there's an important platform for potentially conflict, negotiation, and finding resolutions, to collaborate nonetheless, if this is your aim. There's as well partnerships that are deemed to fail, and then it's worthwhile recognizing this and pulling the brakes. Yeah? Often, I have to say from past experience, as a project manager, that needs a lot of convincing of the relevant staff that are managing your partnership, for example, if you have one. And that can be tricky. That means convincing. And often the other team is trying to convince them to stay in it. So imbalanced partnerships can be very dangerous. Okay, so with the introduction, why should we even collaborate? Actually, traditionally, we have outsourced. Yeah, this is still a standard mode, and it doesn't necessarily disagree with the collaboration. So, yeah, do you have any examples where you have collaborated and still outsourced, or other way around, you outsourced to collaborators?
Sorry, what's the question?
I mean, it's now here like drawn as a line. So we have the traditional outsourcing and then global collaboration, and with it come the factors. But I was just curious: has anybody had experience where you have collaborated and then still outsourced or worked with subcontractors or something like that? But that is probably the most common form, I would assume, actually. Yeah. So, for example, we have here oil and gas. So if you work in a oil and gas industry, you may have the main companies that actually are after the oil trading. Those are the famous names. And they may collaborate then with one of their main oil rig companies. This is often a collaboration because they want as well to control the capacities. There's a reason for it, because if you have too much oil, as we did recently, the oil price plummets. So it helps if you have like a close tie there. And then you subcontract specialist contractors, for example, to extend the bore field. This is then often outsourced, or you have your specialists that basically come in for that. Same is true for construction, even automotive or in the food industry, what I just described as well. You could rent capacity on demand. So if we would have a big football stadium that would say, like, we have now the World Championship, we need capacities for this, then we would make a guess, and they would book the capacity lines to produce the products that they need. That meant digitalization and pull system, so something that we will see later as well. But just to talk you through the different stances, so traditionally outsourced, the project goal is often cost reduction, you bid it out. And then collaboration goal, lower costs often. Often you have quality standards. This is a little bit, I've taken that again from a journal paper. So there are certainly other criteria why you would do that too. It allows you as well a lower risk and a certain flexibility. So that's another added element to collaborative goal. Partner value, technical expertise. This is often how you write out. You ask for a piece to be done. How do we write out? Do we do it by hours and input, or do we do it by output, or do we do it by piecework, products? Or what have you come across? Have you done something like that? Writing out
traditional output of what you want the other business to achieve for you, and you pay them a fee for doing so.
Yeah.
That's my experience.
Yeah, it's one very common way. So you go kind of for output, sometimes even a part product, or an assembly part, that has to be delivered in a certain way with certain quality indicators by a certain time often, and then often fixed to a price that they agree, that you are negotiating. Or what are other ways? Okay, in other industries we do as well quota work. Yeah, we just say, you come for 9 hours, you work for us, we pay the 9 hours. How much do you want? You do everything in this remit. Yeah, this is as well possible. And then you have as well time contracts. So you ask, build as quick as possible. This piece, it has to be actually finished yesterday. If you do it quicker, you get bonuses, and that is almost fixed rate. Yeah? But I mean, those are just, they all lean on technical expertise and as well certain ambitions if you want. And then we have as well the project time type. So here we have maintenance. What is Q&A?
Quality and assurance.
Yes. Yeah, and then new features. Yeah. So this is the traditional outsourcing route. And if you look at the global collaboration intent, so here we have as well joint ventures, partnerships, alliances. You find that it's more about revenue generation. What is revenue? It's not just cost reduction.
It's profit.
Yeah. Well, what else?
Profit, income.
Income. It's basically everything that comes back.
Yeah.
If you have a house, for example, you have as well an asset value, for example. Yeah. So this would all count in. So you look really at the total value generated in a way. Yeah. Whereas here, projects, it's often profits, yeah, costs saved, and it's a different game. Yeah. Then you have a collaborative goal, cost leadership often, or sometimes you set in a, in some collaborations you agree a profit margin that you all stick to, and you carry the risk as well based on your capacities and competences maybe. Then access to knowledge, so you have an open dialogue, hopefully, on a good collaboration. And then access to intellectual property, if you are running around in an industry where you have a lot of patents, or where a lot of actually here Procter & Gamble, there's one R&D manager, he tells me always quite proudly, we don't even write the patents because then in 5 or 15 years people can read it. Well, you can actually read it from day one, but we just keep it a secret. So you can see there are other intents. And in a partnership you would have access hopefully to it. And faster time to the market is another one. Access maybe to new markets. So some partnerships are as well to establish yourself in a new segment. A lot of famous examples with that actually, especially more recently. And build to revenue. So you may have short-term decreases in profits without long-term profit raises. But it shows you already that you are in for a long-term relationship in something like that. Then the partner value, technical leadership again. So you can provide expertise to the partners, and they carry the risk as well. Intellectual property, so business knowledge, process leadership. That is a very powerful thing. You can as well then decide to optimize the process. As when you subcontract, you kind of buy into a process, and you can try to optimize it, but that normally creates a lot of tension. And then on-demand scalability is another one. So you often have as well an open dialogue to a degree. This depends again. Market context and knowledge is another one. You have often your insights from your past experience that you can share and compare and work out a win-win situation. Well, I say again, win-win situation. Could be as well a lose-lose situation. That's too advanced or too backwards. And well, again, partner value. Then on the project type, we have new product development, often again from that new market entry, new product versions. That is normally the driver for collaboration. Did you have any recent global collaborations in mind? Any items that you have? No? New product, market entry, product version? Is nobody the Google Samsung phone? No? Okay, that was a wide pitch. But Yeah, there are quite a few. It's very common, especially in new technology. So in health, we have at the moment a hybrid with 3D printing organs.
New limbs, I would presume. Robotic hands.
Yes. Yeah.
They're coming up.
Yeah. So especially on new advancement interfaces, again, new products, new markets, or new product versions, we see this very often that two kind of technical expert companies, companies with particular knowledge base, come together to collaborate and then generate research projects that are more a marketing stunt at the beginning before they actually arrive at a feasible product. Anybody interested in the Tesla car? Does anybody know what that is? Tesla car? We have a few new cars there.
Isn't it the electric car?
Yes.
The electric one,
Yeah, and
I think I've seen it. It's quite like it's a bit like a sports car, isn't it?
yes.
Like,
But what does it? Yeah, exactly. It's a convertible. Yeah.
I've only seen a photo, but I don't actually know anything about it. Really.
I have seen two different ones in new cars already. So it's basically a pitch of an electric car that has as well road distance, and that was a joint venture from a few guys. It's a paintball guy with a team from other Silicon Valley people that wanted to basically promote the technologies that we kind of have already developed but weren't yet marketable, and they have made a very fine job of it. It's a luxury car though, so it's a price range of £200,000. So it's not yet achievable for everybody, but it's a prototype to basically bring in a budget to develop it further and then scale it down so you have an electric car for everybody where you can drive as well from Inverness to, is it Land's End? Land's End, somewhere down in Cornwall, without having to have long holidays in between. Yeah? So that is where that comes in. Once again, collaboration between businesses is a process of pooling knowledge, resources, and relationships for the sake of purchasing shared aims. And again, you have to monitor in each of those relationships that your shared aim is in it as well. So when competitors work together, innovation results. There's always as well the interface of where you have to negotiate how you actually work together. So here we come already in a little matrix where we look at prerequisites for collaboration versus collaboration intensity. And you can see there's a traditional business approach at arm's length relationship on a contract basis for the project.
Well, how can collaboration operate in its truest form if people are competitors? I haven't experienced that.
Well, so for example, you win now the contract for the Crossrail project, but you don't have the capacity. So you bid it out to your competitors so you can actually do the whole project. So this is a typical arm's length contract.
That's adversarial, that's not collaboration.
You would collaborate on a contract basis on that project. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Collaboration is not the contract form. This is just a description, for example, of just having a contract relationship, partnership. Actually, in the seminar we play as well, I guess, the definition. So, but we should do that maybe now. So, collaboration is really just a description. We can collaborate. I will try to collaborate and try to exchange my knowledge with your knowledge, and we try to make sense of it together. So this is my collaboration intent.
Yeah, but you'll also, but the main aim of doing that is to grab your competitors' knowledge, their understanding, their competencies, develop it yourself, and leave them behind. So how can you truly collaborate with a competitor?
Yeah,
One
truly.
of the examples is like construction. You'd have two smaller main contractors that will join together to do a bigger project. Like in Jersey, they're building a new police station. It was supposed to be Cameron's, this big company that was going to get it, but it's actually two smaller companies, Regal and Rock.
Doing the same thing, competing in the same market.
So they joined together to do the project.
We'll have to join together and being specialists in different markets to have a bigger haul to bid for that project, or they're truly competitors in the same markets.
They're two building contractors that have joined together because they don't have the resources, but together they've got the plant, they've got the labour, they've got the managerial skills, whereas if they're separate, they can only do projects up to 5 million. This is like a 20 million project. So that's all
It's the same. If you
I'm just talking from experience. I've never even
No,
wanted to collaborate with a competitor.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't have the choice, you know, especially with a police station. It sounds as well like a semi-public contract.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get in if you don't have prerequisites, or so that there's often an intent, and they may still do their construction pieces very individually. You know, that they even have shared project cabins and don't maybe talk with each other. You know, just if something goes wrong or somebody hasn't.
Is that relationship governed through contracts and memorandums of understanding, or is it governed through true collaboration?
No, I have worked in that scenario where there were two construction companies, mechanical construction companies. One was MET. Both were from Turkey. Both are competitors in Turkey and also in some parts of the world. But in Saudi Arabia, they were doing a project together because it was a huge project, and both of them cannot do it solely. So they came together and they started the project together, and also they had contracts, and they were going by the contracts, like what Matt was doing or what Wilson was doing. So they were sharing the profits in that thing. So it was like that. They had their contracts and they were collaborating and making the site work.
And it's the same in telecoms, like EE is T-Mobile and Orange and another company which is now merged into one big kind of thing. So,
And they still have their individual packages. If you were with a company before and you're still in that time, you are in very different phone call centers and you have very different access.
I think maybe I'm thinking more towards the partnering where everything's open, where you don't.
Oh, I see.
You don't
So
have,
here,
you don't have the risk of your partner running off with an understanding of your core competence that you came and was protected before you joined together.
Yeah, you're spot on, and that is exactly where the intensity comes in. Yeah, so it's market-based, transaction-driven across unit boundaries, and you may watch them very carefully, you know, so that they don't. So it's a different environment. You're spot on. As a project manager, this is normally as well when you have two IT systems. And so the internal one, and then the stuff that you actually copy over for shared inside. So there's a lot of, I don't want to say bad practice, but it makes it extremely difficult, and normally mistakes are grown when you play these dual world games. Yeah, but with this, actually I'm a little bit time conscious. We have as well the sharing information, transaction of data, and that is a collaboration with suppliers, key customers, and supply chain. So this is often makes sense if you're after bigger bids, or you want to expand in a market through innovation, and maybe new product design. And this is often the minimum that is required. And here you have improved the business processes across legal boundaries, and you often try as well to raise the game. This can be as well a tricky one. So where does the competition sit here, potentially? Did you see it?
So what's the question?
Where is in this sharing information, transaction data, where does the main competition come in the supply chain, maybe?
Similar suppliers.
Yeah.
Suppliers are the same.
Yes. So here you're starting to look at capacities of the suppliers, or the supply chain down the chain, and that can be a tricky game. You may be played out in your supply chain against another supplier. So again, you have interesting dynamics. If you have a project in that scenario, there are often established relationships where you can ask as well for a lot, and you have the information. But if there's one supply chain link where a lot of competition is, you may face very different dynamics here. Yeah. Then you have the sharing and creating knowledge, tacit and explicit. So tacit, this means you have a shared practice. So you do it this way together. That is shared work and co-development. And here you have joint product development and joint account management even. This is there you're already quite close. And then you can see, is that a rainbow? No, it's the other way around, isn't it? I don't know, it works. Yeah. Okay. The sharing and creating new insights comes together with a shared density, creating new competitive space or even new products, and shared goals and resource leverage. So here you even have shared values, maybe, the true collaboration, what you mentioned. And that is, of course, where you have the biggest playground. Okay, we have, of course, as well a private partnerships for sustainable development. We cover that as well quite a bit. We go first into, well, as it says, public-private partnerships, and we look as well kind of at private-to-private partnerships. That didn't really stay very popular. And then we look as well at third sector private partnership, and that is where we come to sustainable development. And yeah, collaboration is tricky. Do I have oh, okay, we do 3 minutes very quickly. I'm after a picture interpretation. Who knows what was this? They're both from the same team. You can tell they have the same uniform. Yeah? So you don't need to know what they're doing. But actually it's written behind. It's F1. Yeah? So it's Formula 1. They are race drivers.
One stood first, the other came second. There was a competition between them.
Yes. So they were supposed to collaborate. The teams, yeah, they exchanged the technical data about the car and try to optimize to have the quickest car as a team. And then why was he like not really happy either, and why does he look very sad? Does anybody know of the event?
Did they both fail?
Yes. Yeah, it goes in the right direction. You're right. So they both failed in the collaborative effort. There was a team order. He had the faster car, but he wanted to win, and he could just stay behind him and try in the corners. When it gets really dangerous to overtake, and he did it actually. And then he had enough from the race and stayed behind him. And yeah, it was a big thing because he had basically ignored the team orders, the collaborative effort that was agreed, but he won the world championship, and he didn't. So, so if the reward is individual, you are in for a very bad thing. Yeah? So there are hidden dynamics, and of course you have to develop trust. Trust is normally there from the beginning, and once it's tread on, then it's very difficult to restore. Yeah? So openly sharing information requires trust and integrity. Yeah, so this is a very tricky one. And last but not least, I have as well, bad collaboration is is actually worse than no collaboration. So there are as well very famous examples. My company that I worked for was as well famous for this. PepsiCo had a few brands that tried to collaborate and just stole information from each other, and then outbidded each other on the market, so they got bankrupt, and then there was a new competitor. Nobody saw that coming. So that is really bad too. Yeah, so bad collaboration is worse than no collaboration at all. And actually I had as well meetings in that company. In American companies, you have sometimes a loud culture. It's bad if you are not going with it for the negotiation. Yeah. Okay, we leave it at that point. And in this seminar, we go through the module aims and the learning outcomes, and then have a quick overview of the timeline, assessment, and then have my scenario where we have to decide where they are in the relationship. Okay, that is it for today. Any questions? That was just an overview. We will make sense of all that in a lot of detail, and you will see how you can evaluate and use it. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah?
We can find those slides in Blackboard?
Yeah, I'm just videoing it now, so it should be already there. Wait a minute, let me stop this. I can tell you if it worked or not.